Amy Taylor. There we go. You know, these go right past my mouth. Chinky Monkey, how are you? It's so good to see some of you over and over again. It really, really is. So, okay. You're welcome, Michelle. Okay. I'm seeing some fun faces. Danielle, Roaring Tiger. Oh, good. Hi. It's good to see you guys. Okay, you know what? I was supposed to take notes on what I was going to talk about. And I want to talk about today. So maybe somebody can help me if I choose to get sidetracked and go off the rabbit down another rabbit trail. But I would like to talk about Bose lines and why yellow nails happen. And is it really a big deal? Okay, so I see a couple of questions coming in. Chinky Monkey says she loves her new stamper. Excellent. I do too. That's something a lot of you guys don't know, is that when we developed the mat, there were a lot of people who, there were a lot of companies who had stampers. And I was like, do I really want to start getting into nail art products? Because our mission is that we believe in creating life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. So, since there were so many other companies already doing nail art products, I was like, how is this really creating a new life-changing product? But I knew that a lot of people were using silicone mats in order to do stamping, so that you could do the stamping on the mat and then decorate it however you wanted, and then pull that decal off the mat, apply that to your nail, and you're good to go. So I started testing the stampers that I had, and they didn't work. I was like, snap. Now I need to find a stamper that works with our mat. And that is how the stamp and scrape happened. And that, oh boy, that took me a good 6 months. A lot of different stampers. I have like a whole drawer full of stampers. And so part of me looks at that drawer and I'm like, I should just give these away as gifts. And then I go, yeah, but they don't work very well with our mat. So I kind of still have this drawer full of a whole bunch of stamper samples. Okay, so let's see. I didn't answer that question. Sangalies. I could totally say that wrong. Why don't you provide a year all scents choice for the large size lotion stick? We do. It's crisp. And you know, like 98% of the population loves crisp. It is a citrusy pomegranate with hints of vanilla and a whole bunch of other things, but that's sort of the main fragrances that come out. So we do have that all year round. And we've been getting some questions lately of why don't we have other fragrances available during our sales, since those only happen in January and July. So some of our seasonals have then gone out of season. And the reason that we do the seasonals is, one, because I don't like being committed to just one fragrance, and I know you guys don't either. But then I also knew that you guys, and just like me, have lots of our perfumes and our lotions and our shampoos and our hairspray, and all of these things have fragrances. And I was just like, I don't want our fragrances to compete with the other fragrances that you're investing in. So they all tend to have a pretty mild, especially with our oil. I wanted that fragrance to dissipate within 30 to 60 minutes so that it did not compete with your other fragrances. So we started offering the seasonals, and that is just it. They are seasonals because they are still very much, especially the oil, in terms of the pens, they are filled by hand. Back in the days when we started 6 years ago, I had syringes from our local vet supply livestock, you know, Dell's Farm Supply. And, you know, owners can give their cattle shots all the time. And so they can buy these products that normally would only be available to doctors. We're able to purchase those. But they're freaking sharp. So I had Corey grind down the point of the needle on concrete so that, because I did stab myself, I was like, oh, I'll just be careful. I'll be fine. No, I stabbed myself with the needle because what we have to do is inject, we basically have to inject the oil into that little, let me grab mine, into this little area. So all I've got is this opening. And so I started with and we still use the needles for, do we use needles or have the guys changed it? They may have changed it just a little bit, but especially for filling those little sample vials. Oh, those are a lot of work, you guys. Anyway, so we filled these by hand. Now we have a filling machine and we've got videos in it. I think, unfortunately, they get buried in my Instagram account. But we have videos of the filling machines that we use so that we still have to hold the container by hand, but it has a little spout and we push a foot pedal and it fills the oil up just to the right spot. But seasonals are still done by hand because we don't invest in a dedicated machine for something that's only going to last for 3 months. And then it's kind of the same way we started offering the lotion sticks in the seasonals also because there was a pretty strong demand. The only problem is, and when we hit vanilla, and I had a very over eager employee at the time, and so she just jumped in and followed the recipe the way we normally do our lotion sticks, and I was like, it doesn't really smell much like vanilla, and so she increased the oil. What ended up happening was that it changed the consistency of the lotion stick. It made it way too soft. But the other thing that happened, and some of y'all may like this, but I didn't, it made it, when it blended with the fragrances, the natural fragrances of the butters and the oil, it smelled like Play-Doh. And I was like, it doesn't smell like vanilla. And we're having a similar issue with pink sugar, but I'm thinking hopefully by spring we'll have it okay so that it doesn't affect the consistency of the lotion stick. Okay, so that's why. Let's see, are there any other questions? Hello to all of you who are joining. Danielle says, hey, I cut my finger pretty bad, and once it's scabbed over, okay, I used the Simply Pure on top, and I don't know if it would help anyone else, but for me, it held up way fast for me. Yay, Danielle! And that's what so many of us find, is that because all of the oils and the jojoba wax ester, they naturally have antifungal, antimicrobial, and antibacterial properties. So they really, really help, and they help facilitate your body in doing what it's supposed to do. And because the scabs stay softer, they don't pull at the skin, which then makes them itch, which then makes us want to rip them off because we want the itching to stop. I found this out when I kind of put 2 and 2 together. We had started the business, and I'd get out of the shower and my scabs no longer hurt. And I was like, oh, they've absorbed a bunch of water, so they didn't hurt anymore. But as soon as they dried, then just terrible itching. So our oil helps keep that scab soft, so then your body can heal, because it's Mother Nature's Band-Aid, and then your body can heal from the underside, because that's actually how we have to heal. It has to heal all of those layers all the way up to the top, which is why it takes a little while. Okay. Gori says, I'm a big fan of Bliss Kiss. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, you guys are so nice. Shelby says, "Hey, Corey." Oh, I haven't seen Corey come in. A lot of people saying, "I love your stuff, like your stuff." Thank you guys. Nice nail art. Usually somebody asks me. So there we go. Doesn't quite match the outfit today. I actually did all of the nail art, so it's sort of French sponged French tip snow and snowflakes. And I did it on all 10, and it was like too distracting to me. And so I was like, I have to do blue. And so I have this cool OPI liquid sand. I actually didn't think I would like textures, but I really, really do. Because I'm used to going like this. It's sort of a pacifying thing of sometimes of rubbing my lip. You know, some of us like to mess with the corners of blankets and stuff. Aren't we weird? We sort of don't outgrow some of those things that we found comforting as little children. Katie, yes, I'm doing great. I get to go pick up my 20-year-old baby daughter today at the airport. So after this, I am going to head up there and pick her up. And SeaTac Airport is about an hour north of us here in Olympia. And so probably many of you heard about the huge Amtrak train derailment that happened 15 miles that way north of my house. So we're of course safe, but this happened Monday morning at like 7, and the freeway is still closed on that side. So we get to take an alternate route, and rather than it taking an hour to come home, it's going to take about 3. So I get hangout time with my girl. Let's see. Chinky Monkey says the base coat article is yielding great results for you using the Wet and Wild. Thanks for the research. You're welcome. Yeah, wet. So I tried 6. Wet and Wild turned out to be the clear winner, and it was very inexpensive. And so I give you all of my research that I did. And then a new fan and follower, Norma, I don't know if she's here, but she sent me the Essie Ridge Filling Base Coat because I checked in several different stores here locally and I couldn't find it. So thank you, Norma, for sending that to me, and I will try that. I'll run that through the test of wearing purple for another couple of weeks. Many of you know that I wore that purple because you have to decrease the variables. So I wore the same color polish, the same polish for 2 months while I did all that testing. Let's see. Okay, Sangalias. I mean the different smalls, summer pink sugar, etc., like with the 4-ounce oil. Are you talking about, so you're talking about the little mini lotion sticks? Those we don't do just because because of the amount of time it takes to make them. So everything as a business owner, we have to evaluate the sales of a product versus the amount of time and the investment of the materials for making that product. And the little minis are definitely, because every single one gets the same label, just like the big one. So that takes the same amount of team member time. And then every single one gets obviously pulled out of the tray. The tray is really cool. I gotta post some more videos again. I need to do those more often because they're really fun. So how they're done is all of the little tubes are pushed into a big giant tray. We used to do like 12 at a time, and now we do, I think the tray does 240. So it takes a lot more time per little mini, and basically this pretty much the same amount of time for a big one. So we end up having to make business decisions based on all of those things, and so sometimes it makes it so it costs us way too much to actually make certain things. I hope that makes sense. A lot of people think oh gosh, you have a big company, you must make so much money. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is how much money gets put back in the company. And it's a big, big, big percentage, especially when you have several team members, of of having to keep that business running and having to invest in all of the inventory, all of the components, and and this was actually something I wanted to talk about. So it's interesting that you asked that, because it's sort of a little mini business lesson. So if you, let's say you have $100, but it requires you to spend $80 on the supplies to then make, maybe you'll make 150. So then you've got to roll that money back into it so that then you could make 300. And then you roll that money back in so then you can make 600. And so that's kind of how we started the business. We started with 100 pens. And that was it. And then we took that money and we rolled it back in so that we could buy the next order. I think we did a few orders at 100, and then we were like, okay, we could do 200, and then we could do 400. And so it's just grown like that. And now we order 10,000 at a time or more, which is hugely exciting. But now take a look at that cost, and so what that does is it ties up the money. So it can look like a company's making a lot of money, but all kinds of things have been tied, all that cash flow has been tied up. So it's a fine balancing act to make sure that we don't run out of product for you guys. And this is why a lot of small indies, they run out of product. So their store, it's like everybody rushes to their store and it's closed within 10 minutes or a couple of days, whatever. And it's because they don't have somebody fantastic like our Kathy, who actually then figures out the numbers. She's fantastic looking at history and sort of guessing, how are we going to do? How much is Amazon going to require so that we don't run out on Amazon, because they don't like us to run out and they ding us hard. And so, yeah, Kathy's awesome. But that's sort of the mini business lesson. So, and actually, you guys, if any of you are actually really serious about starting a business, email me. I'm happy to give you resources on where to go. Let's see. I hope I answered that question for you. Yes, the lotion stick helps with dry skin. So I created the lotion stick, actually. I sent my mother, who's our chemist, I sent her on the create the lotion stick expedition, and it took her quite a long time, because the products kept being too hard because of too much beeswax. And so we kept cutting back on the beeswax, but then the product was getting too soft. And so it was this fine balance of how do we get it to do what I want? And our oil is so light. So when you put it on and you rub it in, it is very easy for water to wash it away, especially soap. Soap for sure. And so I wanted a product that was going to have more of a water resistant barrier that then could trap that oil in so that it could do what it does for our body and helps keep all that skin soft. And make it so that people could put their hands in water or deal with a lot of paper or fabric, because those are hugely, hugely drying to your nails. If you've ever had to do a lot of filing or pack a bunch of boxes so you could move, you know how it's just like the moisture and life is sucked out of your fingers, and then they start to feel like really pokey sandpaper. So that's really what the lotion stick is for. Katie, I have these very clear vertical lines on my ring and middle fingers. Are these ridges? Do you have them? So Katie, do you have them all of the time? So I don't have a picture, but do you have a clear line that runs up here and it tends to want to tear? It tends, especially going this way, does it tear or break frequently going back down this direction? Or is the vertical line going this way? Because that's not a vertical line, that's a horizontal line. Okay, Anna. So I have an idea of what those are, but I need more info. Mans Michelle says she has the same issue, but on your right hand. If it's just a couple of fingers, that's very different than if it's on all fingers. Let's see. Any questions? Instagram, you guys are so prolific with questions. Okay. Aw, Kathy over there on Facebook, she says, you think I'm awesome. Of course I do. You're the master number guesser of all things. Laura, hello. Hi, sweetie. I am so bummed that you... Okay, actually, Laura had a really good thing that happened. No, not a good thing, but a good example. So Laura struggles with getting these really big eczema blisters from certain products. Turns out it's acrylic and gel, and if she's not careful, she's about to lose nail glue and not be able to use that either. But what happens is, if it makes any contact with the skin at all, it just gets pissed. And so what she's been doing, so she tested that gel again, found out, yep, for sure it's the gel, that's the problem. And the reason is because the chemicals that make acrylic and gel work, people think that, oh, they're so different. No, they're not. Under the microscope, they're almost the same. They use some of the exact same product, some of the exact same ingredients, and then there's a slight difference in terms of making acrylic get hard and then having gel being this gel-like consistency when it's in the little pot. And then when it cures, it's a much softer product, harder than polish, but softer, a little more flexible, so it's more forgiving, easier to dissolve. You just soak in it for 15 minutes, sometimes up to 30 minutes. And then acrylic does not dissolve in acetone very well, especially if it's been applied thickly. So thickly, that's not really a word, but if you were to remove acrylic, you would want to file down that product really, really thin. So being careful very much to not touch your natural nail plate. And then you can soak in acetone, and it will get through the rest of the product. So I hope that helps. So anyway, what Laura's been doing is using our intensive treatment of using our oil, slather that on really, really well, and then seal that in with our lotion stick and apply. Let's see, do I have them? Like I've told you guys, things walk around, they disappear in my house. So we offer these nitrile gloves, and they are about 30% thicker than regular nitrile gloves. If you've got nitrile gloves, great, use them. But if you don't, these will change your life, and they are reusable because they're thicker. They're a little more challenging to get off because of the suction, but if you break the seal and break it in there as your hand is, I'm just making a big old blurry mess. But Laura has been able to reuse hers several times. And the reason is because partly they're pink because they're for the medical industry who has to have their hands on chemotherapy drugs. And so these are tested to, and they will not fail touching those drugs for 4 hours. So, and they just feel different, and they're pearly, they're pearlescent, and I really, really like them. So this was my final decision after trying many kinds on what we should offer for that intensive treatment. And so Laura's been wearing them pretty much almost all day long. It helps keep life and bumping our hands into things. It helps protect that, and then it keeps all of that skin really soft and helps it heal itself, helps your body do what it normally does. But the products definitely help make that work faster. So hi, Laura. Marilyn says, I'm sorry that I've not been on Facebook for 2 months for the particular reason that I've been in Puerto Rico helping the beautiful people, giving them food and water. It's been awesome, and I don't know if I'll see the rest, but thank you. Bless you, Marilyn. I would have loved to just hop on a plane and do that. So, yay. Norma, you've frozen up on Instagram. I hope not. Nobody's called me. Oh, and then Norma says, hi, I'm here, and now you're welcome. That is your welcome for the gift. So thank you, Norma. Let's see, a little bit more on Facebook. Let's see. Oh, Larissa says, I'm loving the travel kit in the red case. I carry it around all the time, and I used it today when I wasn't at home. So our travel case comes in, of course, mine is in my purse. It comes in a great case like this, but it's beautiful red, and I have pictures in Instagram and Facebook. And we have an oil pen, a small crystal nail file, a lip balm, a mini lotion stick, and also very small nail clippers. And the reason I chose the small ones is because for those of us who pick at our skin, it makes it easy to get at that dry, dead skin that if we mess with it like I do, it will turn into a infected, bloody mess. And then it throbs for a week, and it's just not fun. That's how I spent most of my first 20 years of my life, because especially with stress and anxiety, I pick a lot. So that's why so it has everything that you need when your brain is just reminding you at the wrong time to do things, and we sort of get sucked into the biting or just that stuff. So also, that reminds me, we have 2 support groups over on Facebook. One is for those of us who bite our skin, pick at our skin, bite our nails, or a combination of all of them. And so that you can go to myblisskiss.com/healthy nails. And that's going to take you to a website where you can sign up to have all of the support materials that we put together sent to your email, and then also the link to directly get to the support group. And so both of the groups, just so you know, we have them closed, but you request to join, and we are working very hard to make sure that happens within about 24 hours, because we want to keep it from crazy trolls who are going to be mean, because a lot of people post very sensitive and raw photographs, and we want to support everybody in their journey, no matter how painful it starts. And so we have some amazing women in there who are just massive cheerleaders, and we love them. And then the other group is for any of you who are dealing with skin issues like psoriasis, eczema, GAR, KP, all of the ones that have letters because their names are so long. Our oil definitely helps with the symptoms of dealing with those. So again, the way to get to that one is myblisskiss.com/healthy skin, and that will take you to those resources as well. So long-winded. I'm looking at the clock to make sure that I still have time. So thank you, Larissa. I love my case too, which is why I never have it here, because it's in my purse. So I got to get one from the team that can sit on my desk right here with all of my other props. Marilyn says, I do not like to use gloves while I'm washing dishes, but the oil seems to come off. Do you have anything else that you can use, like water resistant? Because I love Bliss Kiss. Yes, lotion stick. Yes, you will love that. Marilyn, how am I going to get you? Okay, here's Marilyn. If you're going to be washing your dishes, just a couple of dishes, okay, I'll let you get away with that. But if you're going to be doing intensive washing all of the pots and pans because you just made a big old meal and you're going to be scrubbing down all the counters, please wear gloves. Please, your skin will love you better. Um, Laura says our gloves are so much better than the store-bought. Love, love, love them. Hey, my sister joined. Hello, Diana. Love you. Are you coming over for Christmas? I think you are. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Okay, back over to Instagram. Danielle says, how do you feel about dip powders for your nails? Is it bad for them or not really? So this is another one of those things that is promoted as something different. Well, it's really more like acrylic than not. You're using solution, some sort of solution, and then you're dipping into the powder, which is just acrylic powder. And like the Orly repair kit, I think, is, it's a dip thing also. It's just acrylic powder. And so are they bad for your nails? No. What's bad for nails is with acrylic is poor preparation, is horrible preparation, which is filing down half of your nail plate, which is 15-year-old technology. Okay, so that's long time ago. The products have advanced, and they do not require anything other than a light sanding of your nail plate just to take off the shine, because products don't really stick well to shiny nails, and that is why. So that's why they do the same thing with gel. But if they're filing down half of your nail plate, I know this sounds crazy. Tell them not to, and if they still insist on doing that, get up and walk out. Do not let them destroy your nails, because you are going to then once you remove them, you are going to spend 4, 5, sometimes 6 months for some of you who have really slow nails, the slow growing nails. You are going to spend all of that time trying to recover, because you have to wait till your nails completely grow out and all of that damage grows out. And in the meantime, you have paper thin nails, and they're going to split, they're going to peel, they're going to be tender. Don't. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox. I could get on a lot of soapboxes. So no, Danielle, it's not bad for them. What is bad is poor removal. So they need to be removed, file down a whole bunch of that product, and then sit in acetone until you can slide it off. Not shove it off with an orange wood stick, because that's damaging too. You want to be able to slide it off. Okay? I hope that helps. Let's see. Stop. Sorry. I got the little typing in text thing and it wouldn't let me move it. Love from Bangladesh. Hi, Sadia. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, Norma, I don't know why I froze up on Instagram, because usually that happens when my mother likes to call me. So now I text her. So if anybody calls me during the live, sometimes it can freeze up. But I always have to text my mother now of like, I'm on the live at 11 o'clock. Don't call me, please. Lots of you joined. Hello. Sangha says, you're right about the big lotion sticks, or maybe you didn't get my question. I got your question. I'm not sure if I answered it right. And if I didn't, email me. Email me at info@myblisskiss.com. My team will be able to answer you. They can answer about 95% of the questions the way I would answer them. They're very, very well educated. A lot of our guys, I always laugh, because I'm like, as soon as they get hired, I'm like, you guys are going to learn more about nails than you ever wanted to know. So Corey can spout off almost all of this. Let's see. Katie Joe too. I don't know if I'm answering your question. It's really, I hope you guys understand, it's really hard for me when I get one question up here and then I don't know enough. I don't have enough information, so then I have to get that information down there and try and remember. So let's see. Katie Joe. Oh, up and down. Okay. If they're really, really thin, which I'm guessing they are, what that means is that, and if that continues all the time, that means there is a small portion of your nail matrix that is damaged. And once that's damaged, it can't be fixed. So fortunately, it's still making nail plate layers, but it's not making as many. So it's very, very thin, and which is why when it gets to the tip, it will have a tendency to break and notch. Like you'll get little notches at that point in how it will wear, and it can peel. So for some people, we actually have a pretty big blogger, and she has that issue, and it always wants to break on her. So she actually uses a plastic nail tip, and I swear she does these close-up pictures and you would never ever know. So let's see. Callie says, love my nails. Thank you. I do too. Katie Joe, it's on 3 fingers, one on the right hand, in the middle, the ring, left hand. They don't spit. They don't spit. They don't split or peel or break. Had them for years and got them cute. Yeah. So most likely it's just a little section of that nail matrix is not behaving. Let's see. Roaring Tiger says, speaking of the nail file, I'm so sad that my large nail file broke. I am too. But the great thing is we have awesome cases that they come in now. I love, love, love these cases. They look metallic, but they are actually plastic. And I chose that because metal cases tend to break the file. So we have these gorgeous cases, and from now on they come with this case. So. And then we, of course, for all the people who purchased nail files before we had the case, you can order that separately too, and they're very, very cost effective. And then, of course, the one that comes in the travel kit won't break because, and here's how I know, my team, we took this thing, and you can imagine this is what we do for you guys, and we do it actually for me. This part of this business is purely selfish. If I create something that I can't live without, then I know what happens for you too. So we took all of the things in this case, and not this one, but you get what I'm talking about. And we chucked it across the warehouse. We have a 2,000 square foot warehouse, and we were just trying to break that file, and it didn't. So I was quite happy. Oh, it was in your kit, and then when you went to look for it, it noticed it was in 2 pieces. Email us with your order number, let me know, and we'll send you another one. How do you fix, Amanda says, how do you fix dry damaged nails? Great question. And it's the very first article, one of the first articles I wrote. So go to Google, nailcarehq.com, and look, and then also the words strengthen brittle nails. And that will take you, just to warn you, I've written over 90 articles, so be ready. It's a big, big rabbit hole. There you go. Zeppelin, hi Anna, hi. See, my husband's getting in there and answering questions for you. That's fantastic. Katie Jo says, I use UV nails to reinforce them. Great. Just, yeah, make sure you're soaking them off. And this is why I love our nail clips, because what you do is you soak a piece of cotton and you let it sit on your nail plate, and then you clip that on, and what it does is it warms the acetone, which actually makes it work quicker. It's more effective. So what you want to be able to do is take that piece of cotton, let me grab, and you want to be able to, with firm pressure, you want to be able to slide all that gel off. If you get little bumps of the gel left, I got a picture, and you try and scrape it with an orange wood stick, you're gonna get a gouge like that. And so what we do not want, that's just from an orange wood stick. I don't know if you guys can see it real well. And This is also what peeling looks like. So whenever your nails feel kind of fuzzy, that's what's happening, is all of those layers are lifting up. But you don't want to scrape off gel. It's really, really important. It's way better to reapply the cotton, sit there for 15 more minutes until you can slide that off. Okay. Zeppelin says Merry Christmas. So while I've got you guys, Merry Christmas to all of you. Gosh, the next live is going to be after Christmas. I hope all of you are ready. We're almost there. Almost. Okay. I don't see any more questions for right now. So I'm going to talk about the things I wanted to talk about, which is Bose lines. So I don't have a picture, but it's my next article. Bose lines are when you get this horizontal ridge that happens this way. And what it does is it looks like, from the side view, is it looks like the nail cells went like that. And they're actually more bunched up on this side. So what that groove actually means is, and you guys know that I tell you that our nails never stop growing until the day we die. But they can slow down so much because of stress that as the nails cells are growing, and they're being pushed out, basically it's been growing so slow, and I'm not sure exactly why. I'm going to have to go back and research more, but the cells scrunch up here. And so that's how you get this kind of this groove that happens all the way across. Now, it can happen to one nail, it can happen to all of them. And it usually happens from intense stress. And, you know, usually like getting a new job, that might do it. Especially if it's a new job you hate. If you like the new job, you'll adjust in a couple of months. Sometimes moving can do it. I've had it happen to me 2 times, and it's been on one big toe. And it was when our first child died of SIDS, so that was 22 years ago. And so the next year was a year from Hades, I'll say that nicely. And then the second time was when Corey lost his job, and we started the business. I had already started it, and we had just started selling a couple of pens. So we were like, okay, this could work. And then he lost his job, and then we celebrated with champagne because we knew it was going to be something that we really needed. It was the right shift in our life. But it was excruciatingly painful. We lived on unemployment we got about 1.5 years close to, and then a lot of our retirement, and cut, of course, expenses way back. That was the first year, the Christmas, the kids got lots of big boxes of soda, and they also got the cordial cherries, the inexpensive ones, and then each of the kids with each other, because they didn't have a lot of money, they got gum for all of their siblings. So it was the year of soda, cordial cherries, and gum, and we had it everywhere. So you do what you can. And so, okay, back to the Bose lines. And you can also get it with health issues. And I think I saw this go by over on Facebook. No, that's slightly different. So since you are so stressed, and our body's natural response with stress is to take care of the core. So from here down to your legs, all of your internal organs, your brain, all of that gets the rest of the energy. And so because our fingernails and our toes are at the extremities, they do not get as much blood flow. Say that 3 times real fast. And And so our nails are compromised. And until we start to get out of that massive stress, then our nails start growing again like normal. So they're not something to worry about other than the fact that it just means you have a lot of stress. And it can also happen with a serious health issue that you've just been diagnosed with. If you have been diagnosed with cancer, you're going to be dealing with a whole bunch of other things. But you're also going to be dealing with the now I have is this a life sentence? How long do I have? And those kind of things are going to affect the nail plate growth. So I actually, when it happened with Corey getting laid off, I knew I was really stressed. But I also saw this as a really interesting opportunity because it's a line, it's a marker. So I actually got to see how long it took for that to grow out. And that's how I learned that my big toes take an entire year to replace themselves. So, not a huge, horrible thing. It's just a sign of what's going on in your body. Let's see. Oh, Roaring Tiger, your birthday is December 31st. Happy birthday. Justine's was the 18th, and then Corey's is the 22nd. So yeah, Christmas is the holiday. December's busy for us. Michelle says about a month ago went through a bit of a stressy patch. My tongue and my mouth are not working today. Endless Shade says my hair breaks as well when I'm stressed. Yep. So our hair and our nails are keratin cells. They just look different. So that explains why your hair can be weird too. Zeppelin says, how do you know it went back to normal growth speed after the Bose line? It will look normal. So you'll just have this divot, but the rest of your nail that's growing back from your cuticle line will look normal. It'll look like the nail on the other side of the divot. So that's how you know. Okay, Jacqueline says, I have a hypothyroid issue. My fingernails are soft and thin and break when hard polish is on it. And when in water, they will get really soft and snag deep in the corners. I've tried Bliss Kiss, but still doesn't help grow them, ... and it won't let me. Facebook doesn't let me get much of that. So you make a really good point, Jacqueline, of our oil doesn't help grow them. That's very true. There are only 3 things that are scientifically proven to increase the speed of nail growth. You get pregnant, not an option for a lot of us. Did that 5 times. I'm done with it. And especially for our guys, not an option. The second one is move somewhere warm. And the reason for that is since we're warmer, we get increased blood flow everywhere, including to our fingertips. And so guess what? Your matrix is very happy and it grows a lot of cells and it grows them faster. And then the third one is to damage them. So all you nail biters, your nails are actually growing faster. You just don't know it. And then for like, if you damage your nail, if you smash it on a doorway or whatever, and you lose it, it's actually going to be growing a lot faster because the body knows you need fingernails. Must have fingernails to do all of the things that we do in life to survive. And so it replaces that nail a whole lot quicker. Okay. Yep, Zeppelin, move somewhere warm. But a lot of people who do use our oil say that their nails grow faster. And the reason is because I tell you to massage the matrix. So sit there and rub your matrix just a little bit. You don't have to sit there and do it for hours, but while you're putting on your oil, just rub that in, increase the blood flow, make it warmer, and that will help your nails, the matrix, grow your nails better. Wow, I'm sounding like I'm only half awake today. Jacqueline says, I don't like using gloves to wash, but I started to. It helps some, but it still snags deep in the corners. Jacqueline, I would love to see a picture of your nails. Will you send that to me, please? Maureen says, I recently had one of those and wondered what it was. We had a major plumbing issue around that time, and I was stressing out a lot. Yep. So, yes, Bose lines. Maureen's over on Facebook. Maureen says, happy birthday. Jacqueline says, my toenails grow long and hard, and my hair grows long and sometimes brittle and shed a lot. What do you recommend? I am not a specialist in hair. I've spent 7 years now studying nails, so I know that really well. I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. Okay. We are about 6 minutes out till I turn into a pumpkin and Instagram says bye. Yellow nails. That was the other thing. So are yellow nails a bad thing? No. And if you look on the internet, you will find all kinds of things that tell you everything that could possibly be wrong health-wise based on what your nails look like. Bull. They're not right. Sometimes they can be right, but don't self-diagnose, because I guarantee you most of the time sorry, Corey just answered a question and snap. Oh, yellow nails. So a lot of people who smoke have yellow nails, and that is because of the residual oils from the tar. So that will happen for those of us who do not smoke. And that's why if you look at smokers, usually it's one hand. It's their smoking hand that's stained and their other one's just fine. And then for the rest of us who love nail polish, it's because of these fantastic dark colors. And I have found that it doesn't matter whether you're buying a very expensive brand or you're buying an inexpensive drugstore brand. Some of the drugstore ones, yes, they definitely use less expensive pigments, and so those will have a tendency to stain, but I've had some very expensive ones stain my nails too. So our nails, as we're manicuring over and over and over, they pick up this slight yellow staining, and that's just the nature of wearing polish. Now, if you insist on having white nail tips, which I don't believe is healthy, it's weak and brittle, then don't wear nail polish. Then you're going to have a whole nother issue because your nails are not protected from water absorption. So yellow nails are not a bad thing. And the reason I say that, let me give you an example, because I was in my shower today getting ready, and 4 months ago, 5 months, ish, part of our water filtration system for the entire property stopped working, and so it took us a couple months to figure it out. In the meantime, as our water is very high in iron, so in the meantime, our shower was getting oranger and oranger. And for those of you who have iron in your water, you know that it's very difficult to wash off without all of you can get the rust out kind of chemical bathroom cleaners, but they say, oh, you can't use it on this and you can't use it on that. And anyway, so I don't know if we'll ever get the orange out of our shower. But, so it's just a mineral stain. So polish is similar. Has it ruined my shower? No. Unfortunately, my shower doesn't grow out like our nails do. That's kind of the best analogy. We just sort of pick up these pigments from the polish. And as long as your nails aren't blue or purple, you're fine. So let's see. So Corey, I'm not sure because hair's a different thing, and there are so many amazing products that help. And that would be asking my sister, because she is a cosmetologist and an esthetician, and so she knows a ton about hair. Maybe I should ask her. That'd be a good idea. Let's see. Natasha, have you decided when the flavor of what the flavor of the lip balm will be? We're starting with a mint, but I like spearmint, and my team all likes peppermint, and I don't really like peppermint. It's okay. So since my mom is our chemist, I don't know where we're going. I think so. The spearminty, the creamy spearmint, creme de menthe, was kind of a sort of a no-go. So she'll be working on peppermint. Izzy nails it. Hi, haven't been able to join the lives in a while. Glad to be here. Yay, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to turn into a pumpkin question. Not much time. Ready? Go. What are the horizontal ridges called that happen from massive stress? And I don't care if you spell it wrong. So what is that? And hopefully we will get an answer on Facebook and Instagram. I will choose a winner from both. It's random. You can win once every 3 months. There we go. Let's see. Is there anything else? I'm trying to see if there's any questions that I missed. So Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy all of the other things that religions and wonderful ceremonies and traditions that go with those. So very, very, I'm excited for Christmas this year. It's different. It's, yeah. It's gonna be, I'm really glad my daughter's coming home. So all four kids, and we'll all be together, and it was really cute. She's like, I hope you haven't watched the Christmas specials from the 1970s, which we have on video. She's like, if you haven't started, please wait for me. So that's really cool that we have our traditions. So there's my notice. I have 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's a last minute question. I'll try and, is there anything I can do to get rid of the white? Angela, email me, because I don't remember what the main question was. Okay, so remember, the question for the contest is, what are the horizontal lines that happen across the nail plate? And as you've learned, they're no big deal. They're just an indicator of something big going on in your life, and usually not in a good way big. Okay. So Corey's saying she asked right above, Angela, I have a question please. I have bruises on 2 of my fingers that were black and blue and now have turned white. Oh, I have one of those too, and I'm taking pictures and I'll write an article. They're just bruises and they will grow out and you will be fine. If they start to peel, because this is an artificial tip nail, if it starts to peel in here, it's time for an artificial plastic tip. I did write an article about that. That's on nailcarehq.com, and I've got 10 seconds and it's probably going to cut me off. I will talk to you guys next Thursday, I think. Watch Instagram. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.